Close your eyes for a moment. Not literally, not yet, just imagine it. Imagine your entire body loosening, your shoulders dropping, your breath slowing down. Now imagine trying to catch a butterfly with a clenched, shaking fist. It will never land on you. It will sense the tension before it even gets close, and it will fly away. Now imagine the opposite, an open palm, still, calm, patient. That is where the butterfly lands. This is the first truth I want to give you today, and I want you to carry it far beyond this moment. The things you want most in life do not come to you when you chase them with tension. They come to you when you become still enough to receive them. You have been taught your whole life that success requires force. Push harder, hustle more, grip tighter, never let go. And I am not here to tell you that effort doesn't matter. It does. But there is a kind of effort that comes from anxiety, and there is a kind of effort that comes from peace. One exhausts you and pushes life away. The other aligns you and draws life toward you. Today, we are going to talk about the second kind. Have you ever noticed that the moment you stop desperately wanting something, it often finds its way to you? The job you stopped obsessing over. The person who appeared the moment you stopped searching. The peace that arrived the moment you stopped forcing happiness to show up on command. This is not luck. This is not coincidence. This is a law of energy that has existed long before we gave it modern names like manifestation or law of attraction. The ancient monks who spent their lives in silence, in mountains, in monasteries, far from the noise of the world, understood something that most of us have forgotten in our race toward more. The world responds to your internal state before it responds to your external effort. When you are tense, anxious, gripping onto outcomes with white knuckles, you send a signal not just to other people, but to your own nervous system, your own decision-making, your own creativity. That signal says, I am afraid this will not come. I do not trust that I am enough. I must control everything or it will fall apart. And from that place, you make decisions out of fear. You chase people who don't want to be chased. You force opportunities that were never meant for you. You grip so tightly to what you have that you strangle its ability to grow. But when you relax, not in a lazy, careless way, but in a deep, grounded, trusting way, everything shifts. Your mind clears. Your decisions become wiser. Your presence becomes magnetic instead of desperate. And ironically, this is when the things you wanted all along begin to move toward you. The monk's secret. Stillness is not passivity. Let me clear up a misunderstanding right away, because this is where most people get lost. Relaxing does not mean doing nothing. It does not mean lying down and waiting for the universe to deliver your dreams to your doorstep while you scroll through your phone. The stillness I am talking about is not laziness. It is clarity. It is the deep, quiet confidence of someone who has done the inner work, who has faced their fears, sat with their doubts, and emerged calm. Not because life is easy, but because they no longer need life to be easy in order to feel whole. Think of the martial artist who stands completely relaxed before a fight, while the untrained opponent stands rigid, tense, muscles locked with fear. Who moves faster? Who reacts with more precision? It is always the relaxed one. Tension slows you down. It clouds your judgment. It wastes energy on resistance instead of channeling that energy toward purpose. This is the paradox that ancient wisdom keeps trying to teach us, generation after generation. The more relaxed and present you become, the more powerful and effective your actions are. Why we grip so tightly? Let's be honest about why this is so hard for most of us. We grip tightly because somewhere along the way, we learned that the world is scarce, unpredictable, and unsafe. We learned that if we don't force things to happen, they simply won't. We learned to associate rest with laziness, stillness with weakness, and patience with wasted time. So we grip. We grip onto relationships out of fear of being alone. We grip onto jobs out of fear of financial collapse. We grip onto plans, timelines, and expectations because uncertainty feels unbearable. But here is what nobody told us. The tighter you grip something, the more resistance you create. And resistance repels the very things you are trying to hold on to. A relationship built on gripping becomes suffocating, and the other person pulls away. A career built on gripping becomes stressful, and burnout follows. A dream built on gripping becomes a source of anxiety instead of joy. And creativity, the very thing dreams need to grow, dries up. Letting go is not giving up. Letting go is releasing the fear-based need to control every outcome so that your energy can flow toward what actually matters. Showing up fully, doing your best work, and trusting the process instead of suffocating it. The breath as your anchor. There is a reason every contemplative tradition in history, from mountain monasteries to quiet temples, has centered itself around the breath. The breath is the bridge between your mind and your body, between your inner chaos and your outer calm. When your thoughts are racing, when your desires feel urgent and desperate, return to your breath, not as an escape, but as a reset. A slow inhale, a slower exhale. In that small, simple act, you remind your nervous system that you are safe right now, in this moment, regardless of what the future holds. This matters more than people realize, because your state of being shapes the quality of every decision you make. A person breathing shallow, panicked breaths makes desperate choices. A person breathing slow, grounded breaths makes wise ones. Before your next important conversation, your next big decision, your next moment of chasing something you want, pause, breathe. Let your shoulders drop, let your grip loosen. Then act from that place, not from panic. Attraction through alignment, not force. I want you to understand something clearly. Relaxing does not mean the universe magically hands you things while you sit and wait. It means you stop blocking your own path with fear, tension, and forced control, so that your natural effort, clear-headed, aligned, purposeful effort, can actually work. When you are relaxed, you notice opportunities you would have missed while gripped by anxiety. When you are relaxed, people feel safe around you instead of overwhelmed by your desperation. When you are relaxed, your work improves because creativity and clarity flow best through a calm mind, not a frantic one. This is what it truly means to attract what you want. Not sitting idle and wishing, but becoming the kind of person, calm, grounded, clear, who naturally moves through the world in a way that draws opportunity, connection, and peace toward them, because they are no longer pushing everything away with fear. Releasing the need for control. One of the hardest lessons in this journey is learning to release your grip on outcomes you cannot control. You can control your effort. You can control your discipline, your kindness, your presence, your integrity. You cannot control how others respond to you when opportunities arrive or how quickly your dreams unfold. The moment you accept this, an enormous weight lifts off your shoulders. You stop measuring your worth by things outside your control, and you start measuring it by the quality of your presence, your effort, and your peace. Things that are always within your reach. This is not resignation. This is freedom. This is the quiet strength of someone who has stopped fighting reality and started working with it instead of against it. Patience as power. We live in a world obsessed with speed, and this obsession has convinced us that patience is weakness, that waiting means falling behind. But patience, real patience, is one of the most powerful forces a human being can cultivate. The mountain does not rush to become a mountain. The river does not force its way through stone in a single day. Yet, given enough time, water carves through rock, not through force, but through consistent, calm, unwavering presence. This is the model I want you to hold on to. Not forceful urgency, but consistent calm. Show up daily with discipline and intention, and then release your grip on when the results must arrive. This combination, disciplined effort paired with relaxed patience, is far more powerful than anxious hustling ever will be. Much of our tension comes from comparing our timeline to someone else's. We see others achieving what we want, and instead of trusting our own path, we panic, tighten our grip, and try to force our lives to match theirs. But every path unfolds in its own time, according to its own conditions. The tree does not compare its growth to the tree beside it. It simply grows, rooted in its own soil, reaching toward its own light. When you release comparison, you release a massive source of internal tension. You free yourself to focus entirely on your own growth, your own breath, your own presence. And that focus, undiluted by anxious comparison, becomes far more powerful than energy spent worrying about someone else's journey. I want to leave you with something practical, something you can actually use starting today. Set aside even 5 minutes each morning. Sit quietly, breathe slowly. Let your thoughts pass without chasing them, without gripping them, without needing to solve every problem in that moment. This small practice, repeated daily, trains your nervous system to return to calm more easily throughout your day. Over time, you will notice that you no longer react to every stressor with panic. You no longer chase every desire with desperation. You respond instead of react. You attract instead of chase. This is not about becoming detached from your goals. It is about pursuing them from a place of grounded strength instead of anxious grasping. So here is what I want you to remember, long after this moment passes. The tighter you grip life, the more it slips through your fingers. The more you relax into your own presence, trusting your effort, trusting your timing, trusting yourself, the more life begins to move toward you instead of away from you. Stop chasing with clenched fists. Open your palm, breathe, trust your path. Do the work, then release the outcome. Move through your days with calm instead of panic, with presence instead of desperation. Because the truth, the one the mountains and rivers and quiet monasteries have always known, is this. You do not have to force the life you want. You only have to become still enough, calm enough, and aligned enough to let it find you. Relax, and watch how much of what you want begins to arrive.